it did not happen that way. They did not put all these American people at risk. And believe me, I know Washington has done a lot of stupid things, and I question a lot of things. And guns get in the hands of people that don't like us particularly, and proxy war and all sorts of wars and things that happen in the Middle East that it's above me. And I try to understand it and try to appreciate where Trump's even coming with the Saudis because, they got blood on their hands. But now they have a problem with ISIS, and it seems like everybody has a problem with ISIS now. So it's one of those catch-22s, darn if you do, darn if you don't. And here's the tricky thing of that all is that you have to keep your enemies kind of close to you. You got to know what they're doing, what they're thinking, because you certainly don't want to have more enemies than are needed. So again, it's a catch-22, and the deals that are done for supposedly the benefit for all of us, things are done that are supposed to protect us, and that's what we hope our leaders will do each and every day. Alex Jones with Sandy Hook, I think it's very damning to him and to his reputation, and I don't think he really cares because this gives him a lot more press. But they apparently just don't care. Dan Abrams, he's the chief. Well, he's the legal strategist for ABC, defending Kelly. He says that I have interviewed murderers before, and so has every major network, and we don't get this kind of backlash. How insensitive. They don't get that kind of backlash to say that this is a hoax, and the conspiracy goes to say that even the families are making pretend that their kids died there, and they didn't. That they were dummies. And it was staged. Oh, yeah. Come on. I'm sorry. I mean, people like Wacko Radio, and I guess it's just like Jerry Springer phenomenon. Said, phenomena. Who watches Jerry Springer? A bunch of people do, just for the shock value. Now, some people watch it for the shock value. Other people, they actually drink the Kool-Aid. The Jim Jones Kool-Aid that killed all his followers. This is a poison, folks. And this conspiratorial radio that I don't subscribe to, and I don't recommend subscribing to the garbage and the hoaxes and crap that he has that goes through a lot of radio stations every day, believing that around every single corner there's some kind of conspiracy. And I love a good conspiracy because I believe there are some out there. Sandy Hook and 9/11. We know who funded the terrorism. We know where to look, where to go. Unfortunately, the stuff continues. The same type of people that would put one of these things together. Luckily, now we're a lot smarter when it comes to TSA and our airliners. We were innocent, and it took our innocence away. And it killed thousands of Americans. But that was reality. Sandy Hook, very much a reality. I have friends that are in the news media business, and they were there and saw the carnage. Okay? I know for a fact that that was real and not a hoax. I even know one of the teachers at Sandy Hook. This is just perplexing, folks. And you know, he should be embarrassed for making a living off the turmoil of people's souls. Because they know for a fact, 100%, there's a death certificate, and they know where the tomb, and they know where the remains are. Some don't have remains. And all they have is they can go to the reflecting pool in New York City, or in Shanksville, or at the Pentagon. NBC needs to cancel the program. I've interviewed murderers. This was cold blood. And you get a guy that makes money off hoaxes, saying that this stuff is not the way that you thought it went down. It was just all of a hoax on Sandy Hook. Give me a break. Now, Megyn Kelly, she responded only after the backlash. Only after the backlash. You don't think that these people in the tower at NBC don't think these things through, that there may be a backlash against this? They knew for a that's why they have attorneys. Now, Megyn Kelly, she responded in a statement that was provided by the network. Of course, they screened it, they edited it. And so here it is. Megyn Kelly, I find Alex Jones' suggestion that Sandy Hook was a hoax as personally revolting as every other rational person does. It left me and many other Americans asking the very question that prompted this interview. How does Jones, who traffics in these outrageous conspiracy theories, have the respect of the President of the United States and a growing audience of millions? Have the respect of the President of the United States. There's an agenda here, folks. How NBC is going to spin this off is that the president is friends with Alex Jones, and he believes just as Alex Jones believes. Hook, line, and sinker without even going and asking the president about Alex Jones. They're there to smear Donald Trump with Megyn Kelly for ratings on NBC on Father's Day. And they don't give a darn. They don't care. They're going to go ahead and air it anyways. She says President Trump, by praising and citing him, appearing on his show and giving him White House press credentials, has helped elevate Jones to the alarm of many. Our goal in sitting down with him was to shine a light, as journalists are supposed to do, on this influential figure, and yes, to discuss the key considerable falsehoods he has promised with near impunity. Kelly added that she was disappointed to be dropped from the gala, but I understand and respect the decision of the event organizers. Now, it's just more politics, folks. This is going to give her the ratings for people that are going to actually tune in and watch it. There is an agenda behind it, and you just heard it. It's to smear the President of the United States. Forget about shady characters. Forget about those that Obama had actually pardoned that had bombings. The character from Puerto Rico yesterday at the parade that was pardoned. Hundreds and hundreds of bombings throughout the United States. Let him out of jail early. What an idiot. And then the questionable terrorist ties and people that were actually involved with terrorism working with the administration. People that want to destroy this government. Just unbelievable. And, you know, it's just further evidence that shows how NBC is going to go. And you know what? I just had this feeling all along with Megyn Kelly. She's right at home with NBC. She's right at home because she has an agenda, and she would love to actually take Donald. She hates Donald Trump, and I think she's a liberal at heart. She's playing these games, and she's as liberal as Whoopi Goldberg and all of those out there, but a fruitcake. She will never have the acclaim, the prestige that she had on Fox News Channel. They rolled out the red carpet for NBC, just going to give her specials. Oh, it's not by her choice. It's not by her choice. She went there because that's what she believes in. And she had an agenda all along, and she's speaking loud and clearly in what she's doing. And basically, she has a right to do the special, or she doesn't. She's not obligated to have to put her name on something that she doesn't believe in. She's doing this, again, you heard it, to smear, because it's questionable in her mind. As if Obama didn't hang out with anybody that was questionable either. Unbelievable. I've spoken to this next gentleman I'm about to talk about. And he's been on a couple broadcasts that I've done on other networks. and it's Dr. Robert Jeffers, and he's a Texas pastor of a megachurch, and he's demanding Senator Bernie Sanders to apologize or resign after he lambasted President Donald Trump's pick for Deputy White House Budget Director because of the nominee's Christian faith. Yes, at a hearing last week, Sanders, we're talking the burn, feel the burn, the nominee Russell Vought ultimately saying his religious values disqualified him for public office. This is Bernie Sanders. His religious beliefs, his values, folks, the values that we hold near and dear, disqualify him from public office. Sanders, a endowed socialist, said Vought is really not someone who is what this country is supposed to be about. So Dr. Jeffers, senior pastor, First Baptist Church, Dallas, released a statement in the wake of Vaught's Senate hearing, pushing back against Sanders' intense questions for Vought, and basically condemning his words and what he has to say. He says this is a assault on the Constitution and on a fully 41% of American people. And there are only two responsible courses of action for Senator Sanders. He says, I apologize to the country for this full-heartedly attempt to introduce an unconstitutional litmus test that would exclude 41% of the country or resign. I like this. He says this attack by Senator Sanders, of course, first of all, because Article 5 of our Constitution provides that no religious test shall be required as qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Vaught's comments in a blog post published in the context of a controversy at the Christian college from which he graduated affirm that the words of Jesus himself, who said, I am the way and the truth and the life, no one comes to the Father except through the Son. Yet that affirmation of this core Christian doctrine led Sanders to conclude that Vought failed Sanders' religious test. But he's a socialist. Not a surprise. Regardless, Sanders continually bangered Vought on the matter, asking him whether or not he stands by his previous claim that those who do not accept Jesus stand condemned. Ultimately, the nominee didn't back down, pointing to the centrality of Jesus Christ and salvation. Says Jeffers, I stand by what I said. I stand by my words. And there you have Sanders, who a lot of people would like to be the head of a big power broker, a player in the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, and maybe running in 2020. I'm not even kidding. But there's a lot of the left that like that. They don't want Christian values. The Son of God, Jesus, salvation? No. What did you hear that no man comes to the Father? But it's a central Christian doctrine. And if you read your Bible, been to Sunday school, know anything about theology, it's the core principle, the fundamental. But it's amazingly disrespectful. And it is a constant reminder of the assault of what Christianity is under, the attack that's on our country and on Christians in this country, folks. We have to stand up for our rights. And thank God we got Donald Trump in the White House, and we have some great folks around him. Jay Sekulow, by the way, the American Center for Law and Justice, is one of Donald Trump's key lawyers. And I've had Jay Sekulow on my broadcast many, many times. Sharp lawyer, fine lawyer. And believe me, he will fight for your rights of freedom to be able to worship and not to hold us out of the public square. But the left, that's what they would love. That's what they would enjoy. Speaking of love, Barron Trump, he's become somewhat of a celebrity. You know, he's the first kid, okay? He's a boy living in the White House now. But he's been wearing this shirt, and it's a T-shirt, and it's a J. Crew shirt, and it says, The Expert. And it's a J. Crew shirt. It's an amazing sellout.